No one on Observatory Station 12 remembered the moment the alarm first chirped. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was just wrong. A soft tone that didn't belong to any scheduled scan or routine sweep. Lieutenant Mara Alden looked up from her console, a half-finished cup of cold coffee between her palms. She frowned, tapped the display, and the screen flickered with a single word. Contact. Another debris fragment? Her partner, Jelrin, asked, rubbing sleep from his eyes. Mara didn't answer. The object was too large, too fast, too controlled. Her throat tightened. No, this is deliberate. The station lights dimmed slightly as the long-range array pushed to full power. A thin hum filled the room, vibrating through the metal floor. Everyone nearby stopped what they were doing. Captain Aaron stepped out of his office. Report. Mara swallowed. Sir, something is coming through the outer veil. Something big. The hologram formed slowly, first static, then shape, then terrifying clarity. A silhouette of a vessel none of them recognized. Massive, sharp, purposeful, and moving with a confidence that no drifting relic or pirate craft could ever match. Jelrin whispered, "What empire builds ships like that?" Mara didn't blink. "No empire we know." As if answering her, the scanner translated the ship's signature. A small line of text scrolled across the hologram's base, quiet and almost shy. Identity match. Humanity, Starfleet. The room fell silent. Even the hum of the machines felt muted. "That's impossible," Captain Aaron murmured. "Humans vanished centuries ago, their systems abandoned, their worlds silent." But the ship on the hologram grew larger, clearer, closer. Its engines glowed like burning starlight. Mara felt her pulse quicken. "They're not gone," she whispered. "They're coming back." The station officers gathered in the command chamber, each trying, and failing, to hide their fear. No one wanted to be the first to say they were scared of a species everyone believed extinct. But the truth sat heavy in every breath. Mara stood closest to the hologram, watching the human warship glide silently toward their sector. It didn't rush. It didn't threaten. It moved with the calm certainty of something that didn't need to prove its power. Jelrin whispered, "Should we hail them? Or wait?" Captain Aaron rested both hands on the display table. His voice was steady, but Mara heard the strain beneath it. "If we wait, we look frightened. If we hail them, we risk provoking something ancient." "Ancient?" Jelrin raised a brow. "They're not ghosts." "They might as well be," Aaron muttered. A faint signal pulsed through the chamber speakers. Soft, almost polite. Everyone froze. "That wasn't us," Mara whispered. The console flickered. A new message appeared, encrypted in a pattern no one recognized. Lines of code rearranged themselves, forming words in Galactic Common. Not aggressive, not demanding, just simple. Request. Secure channel. Human presence non-hostile. Jelrin's mouth fell open. "They're asking permission?"
"Humans?"
Mara felt something stir in her chest. Curiosity mixed with dread. "Open it," she said. Aaron hesitated, then nodded. Static filled the room, followed by a calm, human voice. Older, worn, yet firm. "This is Admiral Thane of the human Starfleet. To the inhabitants of Observatory Station 12, we return not as conquerors but as witnesses. A tide is rising across the galaxy. You must prepare." A chill crept down Mara's spine. Prepare for what? The Admiral's voice lowered, like he was choosing each word carefully. "For what woke us?" The transmission cut instantly. Silence swallowed the room whole. No one moved for several seconds after the message ended. It felt as if the Admiral's final words were still hanging in the air, echoing in every heartbeat. Mara finally breathed out. "What woke them? What does that even mean?" Captain Aaron turned sharply toward the hologram. "Run a full-spectrum scan behind the human vessel. I want to know what they're running from." Jelrin was already typing. "On it." The scanners hummed, then stretched into frequencies they rarely touched. The hologram shimmered. Data flickered. Colors shifted. Finally, the image settled. revealing something none of them were ready to see. A second signature. Massive. Faint. Like a shadow hiding behind the glow of the human warship's engines. Mara stepped closer. What is that? Jelrin shook his head. It's not a ship. Not exactly. More like a gravitational pressure. Something bending space without moving. Aaron's voice tightened. Is it watching them? No, Jelrin whispered. It's following them. A pulse of static ran across the console. Another message flashed. Human Starfleet. Do not scan the entity. Everyone froze. How did they know? Mara whispered. As if answering her, the human ship suddenly altered course. Slowly, gracefully. Placing itself directly between the station and the unseen presence behind it. Like a shield. A protective gesture. Aaron blinked. They're guarding us? Jelrin swallowed. Sir, humans disappeared for hundreds of years. Their colonies empty. Their outposts abandoned. If something forced them to hide or evolve. Mara felt the room tighten around her. Then whatever woke them must be worse than anything on the records. The lights dimmed again, just slightly. A tremor rolled through the station. Soft, but wrong. Not physical. More like a pressure on the mind. A whisper in the skull. Mara pressed her fingers to her temple. She could have sworn she heard something. A faint voice, distant and cold. Found you. And the station's temperature dropped by 2 degrees. Mara steadied herself against the console. Her breath frosting faintly in the cold air. The temperature drop wasn't from a system failure. Everyone felt it. Everyone sensed the wrongness creeping in like an unseen fog. Jelrin's hands shook as he checked the life support display. Systems are normal. Nothing's failing. The air shouldn't be this cold. Captain Aaron exhaled slowly, trying to keep the fear from showing. Whatever that thing is, it's affecting us without even touching the station. Mara looked back at the hologram. The human warship remained between them and the invisible presence. Engines glowing brighter, as if bracing for something. The hull seemed to shift, panels adjusting, energy gathering beneath its surface. It was preparing to act. She whispered. Humans knew this was coming. That's why they returned. Before anyone could respond, the speakers crackled. A different voice cut through the room, not human, not machine. A low, layered sound that felt like it was being spoken inside their skulls rather than through the air. Do not interfere. Everyone froze. Jelrin clutched his head. It's talking to us. Aaron gritted his teeth. Focus. Trace the source. But the source wasn't traceable. It wasn't coming from the unseen entity or from the human vessel. It was coming from everywhere. Mara swallowed hard. Why now? Why after centuries of silence? Another whisper moved through the room, softer this time, almost curious. Because one of you called. Mara's stomach dropped. She didn't know why, but she felt the words were directed at her. Suddenly, the human warship fired a warning flare, brilliant, blinding blue, lighting up the void like a second star. The entity behind it recoiled, space rippling like disturbed water. Aaron stared. They saved us again. Mara pressed a hand to her chest, feeling her heartbeat hammer. Not again, she whispered. Still, because the humans were bracing for a fight the galaxy didn't understand. And they weren't planning to lose. The blue flare from the human warship still shimmered across the observation windows, fading slowly like the tail of a dying comet. It left the station in a strange half-light, quiet, suspended, waiting. Mara rubbed her arms, trying to shake off the cold that had settled deep into her bones. But this cold wasn't physical. It felt like something touching her thoughts, brushing its fingers across memories she didn't remember making. Jelrin checked the sensors again, voice tense. The entity pulled back. Still there, but distant, like it's observing. Captain Aaron nodded stiffly. Humans bought us a moment. We need to use it. But Mara barely heard him. A faint buzzing filled her ears, followed by a flash. An image that wasn't from her life. A dark room. A human figure sitting alone, head in their hands. A faint light pulsing beneath the skin of their arms. Her voice? Whispering, "We shouldn't have opened it." She blinked hard, gripping the edge of the console. No, no, that wasn't me. Jelrin turned toward her. What happened? She swallowed, trying to steady her voice. I saw something. Someone. A human. Like a memory. But not mine. Aaron's gaze hardened. The entity? No, Mara whispered. This felt human. Before they could question her, the speakers crackled again. This time with the voice of Admiral Thane. Observatory Station 12. Listen carefully. If you've heard anything, seen anything, it is not hallucination. The entity feeds on thought. It searches through minds for pathways. Jelrin stiffened. Pathways to what? Thane didn't hesitate. To the one it marked. Mara felt the bottom drop out of her chest. Aaron looked at her slowly, understanding dawning with fear. Mara, I think it marked you. The chamber went silent. In the void outside, the human warship turned, its weapons awakening like rising stars. Because whatever had claimed her wasn't done, and humanity wasn't going to let it take her. The human warship drifted closer, its hull glowing with a soft blue aura that shimmered like a heartbeat. This time, it wasn't a warning flare. It was a shield, expanding, widening, curling around the station like a protective hand. Mara felt the buzzing in her mind grow sharper. The entity whispered again, cold and hungry. You were touched. You opened the way. Her knees nearly buckled. Memory after memory, none of them hers, flashed through her mind like broken glass. Human scientists gathered around a strange rift. A pulse of invisible energy. A scream swallowed by darkness. Jelrin grabbed her arm. Stay with us, Mara. Look at me. I didn't open anything, she whispered. I wasn't even born. Captain Aaron spoke gently but firmly. It's trying to convince you, to make you doubt yourself. But Mara felt something else beneath the fear. A warmth, a steadiness, a familiar presence brushing away the cold. Another voice entered her mind, clear, strong, unmistakably human. You are not its door, she gasped softly. Admiral Thane? The station lights brightened. Outside, the human warship released a surge of blue-white energy, rippling through space like a tidal wave. The entity recoiled violently, its presence retreating until the cold vanished and the pressure lifted from their thoughts. Thane's voice echoed through the speakers. It marked her because she carries a fragment, a resonance from centuries past. Not guilt, not fault, just connection. He paused. And connection can be used. Aaron frowned. Used how? The Admiral exhaled. To end this. The human ship's shape unfolded. Panels shifting, energy rings turning. A beam of light shot from its core, passing harmlessly through the station but striking something unseen. The void screamed. A final ripple tore the darkness apart. And then, silence. Mara stood trembling, tears prickling at the corners of her eyes. Is it gone? For now, Thane said softly. But we will stand watch. She looked at the human ship. Ancient, beautiful, and impossibly alive. Why come back at all? Mara whispered. Thane answered with quiet conviction. To protect what the galaxy has forgotten, that humanity never truly leaves its own behind. The channel closed, and for the first time in hours the stars felt warm again.